I want to start out with the dangers of profanity. Let's go to the book of Matthew 26th chapter. Now, have anybody ever cursed, said F or S in your whole entire life? Yeah, raise your hand up if you have.
Yes, we all did.
You sure it's not a Chicago problem? People don't cuss down here, do they?
We were bad.
You were? Oh, okay. Matthew 26 in 69. Okay, you got that? You got it? Who's got it for me? Old King James. I like Old King James. Say, well, if you don't read it, then your other versions are great. We won't. No, just let me help you with the Old King James right now. Who's got that?
69.
Yeah, 26 and 69. Get your paper. You got your paper, and if you need some, anybody need extra paper, that's outside. Everybody got paper and stuff. All right. Matthew 26 verse 69 says what?
Now Peter sat without in the palace,
Outside.
and a damsel came unto him, saying, Thou also wast with Jesus of Galilee.
Now she recognized them. Okay, from Jesus of where? Galilee. Okay, now we're gonna just hold on to the Galilee for a second. Now keep going, baby.
But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest.
Okay, he denied it. Keep going, please.
And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him, and said unto him, said unto them that were there, This fellow was also with Jesus of Nazareth.
Now they saw him in Galilee. Now they're also saying, man, we saw you, man. We got you. We got you. We saw you in Galilee, and then we saw you up hanging around the corner over there in Nazareth. We got you. Peter's like, I ain't no. Got you, man. You has got it, if that's a word. I can get away with that. Throw a New Yorker guy can talk that. Use guys and stuff like that. So we was got it, man. They got you. Read on, please.
And again he denied with an oath, I do not know the man.
Jesus said, I solemnly swear, I, Peter the fisherman, have not even heard of this guy you're talking about. Now, Peter, man, you was with him all the way through. You saw the blind eyes open and the dead raised. And now, Jesus getting ready to go through something, and you're going to bail on him. I was in Pakistan preaching. Lahore, Pakistan. And the pastor called yesterday he said, I got a word from my wife, all the way from Pakistan. He wanted to talk to my wife. He had a word from my wife, and he said, I don't know all of what he said, but in two regards that you're supposed to come back to Pakistan. And my wife and I said, the devil is a lie. We can go back over there no more. The devil is a lie, son. I can go back over there. I got arrested while I was over there.
Really?
I was preaching it. Huh? Y'all don't stop going because I ain't going. I got arrested over there. Man, it was pat me in places. I told them, if you pat me down there, that's the only place that you're going to touch it where my wife touched it. You put your hand down there. And I said, touch me down there again. And he was like, you don't pat people in unpattable places. Y'all get that when you get home. They went over your head too. Y'all get that, right? You get what I'm talking about. And so he said, Earthquake, you got to come back to Pakistan. You got to come back here. And while I was over there, when they arrested me, let me tell you something. When I was over there, got arrested, with two guys came from Orange County, California. I won't say their name, but they came from Orange County. We all went together. We got there. We landed. We preached. And people got saved. On the way out, they arrested me. And the two preachers that I've known for a long time, they said, you know him? They said, no, we ain't never heard that man.
Wow.
Whoa.
We ain't never heard of such a thing. Yeah, Pakistan. They left me, the soldiers was patting me down. They took my passport. I was humiliated. I said, man, what do you mean you've been knowing me all these many years? We ministered together. I ministered for, I don't know you. I ain't never heard of you before.
Oh my God. That's a devil.
Then all of a sudden, the spirit started getting in me. that spirit of smack. You ever had that spirit of smack? That spirit of smack, it started rising up in my hand. It started rising. Anybody know what I'm talking about? If that spirit of smack ever hit you? Son, that spirit of smack was getting in my hand. And then that spirit of punch, he said, I'll take it from here. Yeah. And that spirit of punch was taking over. I said, no, y'all, man. Come on, man, you know me. We ain't never seen you before in our life. We don't know who you are. You're a stranger to us. Wow. And all of a sudden, here comes this big old dude. I'm 6'4". This guy bigger than me. He real bigger than me. He had big curly locks of hair. And he had on a light blue shirt and dark blue pants. He came from somewhere. I don't know where he came from. And he came up and he told the soldiers, he said, what are you doing to him? And they said, hey, whatever they say. They speak Urdu and Farsi language. And they were speaking that to him. And I guess they didn't want me to know what they were saying. And he said, let him go. He said, let him go. And they had these with the big barrel in the front of the gun and a little handle like this, where they could flip it up like the rifleman. They had those kind of rifles on me, and I'm surrounded by these dudes. And the other guys, I'm looking at them, and that spirit of punch was in me. I said, man, if I can just get my hand, they're going to whip me, I know, but if they get to whipping me, I'm asking for permission to come whip y'all. After my whipping is over, then I'm going to ask them to get a hall pass so I can walk down the hall because I'm going to whip y'all. And that big old dude, he was big. He was bigger than me. And he said, let him go. And they froze like mannequins, just like this. And he said, now, you go. Get on that plane. Wow. And he made sure I got all the way to the last. So you got to go through 5 checkpoints to get out of Pakistan. You just don't go wash your happy self through there through one little metal detector and that. Oh, no, you got to go through one. He got to stamp you. This one got to stamp you. This one got to stamp you. That one got to stamp you. And they all got a look on their face. Like you some kind of suspect. Wow. And that big old giant fella, he said, go. And I got all the way through all 5. I didn't have to go through the other 3 checkpoints. He made sure I got right to where the plane was getting ready to load up, 777 Airbus. And when I got on the other side of that last checkpoint, guess who I saw?
Your friends.
Yeah. Wow. The 2 Orange County boys. And the Holy Spirit took over me and said, don't you dare knock their false teeth down there. Yeah. But they don't have false teeth. I'm getting ready to make them false because I'm getting ready to knock you in your head. But God said forgive them because sometimes you got to learn how to forgive instantly.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, I'm talking to somebody should hear this.
Yes.
That's right.
So I understand what Jesus went to with being denied. And I got on that plane. And I was sitting there and I was doing the plane like this. Come on, plane. Come on, take off. Come on, take off. They frozen. How long they gonna stay frozen? I'm trying to get that big old 77 thing to fly. And God said, relax, son. I don't have to do anything. Yes. I think somebody needs to tell your neighbor, God don't have to do anything. Just tell him. Don't have to do anything.
That's right.
You don't have to do anything. And that thing start. That plane is so big, the wings do like this before it takes off. You can see the wings doing like this. And I'm hollering to myself, man, could you go just a little bit faster? I'm hollering to the pilot in my head, can you go a little bit faster? It looked like that big old thing taking a long time, getting off the ground. And I got the window seat. And I'm looking out the window. Here come them police and them soldiers. They running, trying to catch me. And that plane did like this, hurt that little, you know how sometimes the plane got to go around that curve? And then going around that runway. And then when they went around the curve, it went right past them. Once the front wheels get off the ground, no return then. The front wheels went like this. And I saw them soldiers, it was. And I said,
yeah.
And we got into Ireland. I got off the plane. I got in Ireland. I kissed the ground. The audacity to ask me. Now they're trying to get me to come back by asking my wife to come. She said, I'm so glad she said no. Did you say no, baby?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. Huh?
I didn't say no, I just listened. I'm like,
But here now, Jesus had to deal with that when Peter denied him. Okay, read on, baby, please.
After a while came unto him they that stood by and said to Peter, Surely thou art one of them, for thy speech bewrayed thee.
Right, so if you down south, some parts of down south, you talk like you from down south, right? They know you're from down south. You come to California, you start talking automatically, they say, you're not from California. Right? They're going to know because your speech is going to give you away. If you're in New York, you're going to be like, we used to talk a long time ago, lost most of my accent. We talking, we had our own language. Man, what's up? Do it, man. Come on, man. We come out here, we're going to do this, that, and another. And we know what we're talking about because we're from that area. Yeah. So you being around Jesus at any length of time, you're going to act like him. You're going to talk like him. Right. You're going to smell like him because you have been around Jesus. Amen. Anybody been around Jesus now, you're glad because you can talk like him. You can believe like him. Am I talking to the right church here? It's going to be on you. It's going to be in you. It's going to be about you. It's going to be of you. Why? Because you've been in and around Jesus' company, and he's inside of you. You can't help but talk like him.
Can't help it. Can't help it. Yes, sir.
You get that? Can't help it. Someone might see you walking down the street and say, something different about you, man. Lady, something different about you. Why? Because you've been in and around and of Jesus. Yes. You don't have to force it to come out. Come on, Jesus. Hold on, he's coming.
Like you're delivering a baby.
Yeah, or constipated one. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I said down. So y'all scratched it. Retake that constipated remark. Yeah. Bust a blood vessel. He said, let this light be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. It's a light that comes out of you. And then Peter, he'd been around and he said, I know you, man. I know you. You was with Jesus. No, it wasn't. We don't be.
Then began he to curse and to swear.
Now, right there, when they said cuss like a sailor, he was a boatman. He definitely knew what it was. And we can't go into that right now, how the sailors can cuss more than the regular landlubbers. There's a story behind it, but I won't go into it right now. He started to curse. He started the cursing back there is the same cursing that's to this day. Yeah. Hasn't changed, not even 1 inch. So I ask you, have anybody ever cursed and swore in your whole entire life? Raise your hand, be honest. In the last 5 years, have you cursed? Last 4 years? Last 3 years? Last 2 years? This year? Recently. Let me show you the dangers of that. May I? Let me show you the dangers. When my member of my family, I didn't know that was open. Lord have mercy. I'm sorry. I thought the top was on there.
He's got a napkin down there.
I'm so sorry. I thought that was closed. I was going to open it when I put it up there. I know. Y'all did a good job. Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. They're getting an electric back there. Oh, okay. Not the water. What was I saying? Hector was cursing. No. That's your buddy. Anyway, a member of my family, who was a sorceress. My father was a sorcerer, and on the other side was sorcery. So I was sort of in the middle. I saw this person having an argument with this man. They were going back and forth. So I was 8 years old, and back in those days, the children were to be seen and not what? Heard. You didn't get in the middle of grown people's business. because you get like 5 whippings before you got home. Mr. Jones, he whipped you, and then Mr. Taylor, he whipped you.
That's right.
And Mr. Taylor said, I didn't whip you good enough. Come back and whip you some more. You get like 5 whippings by the time you got to the house. Then your dad, he gonna whip you, and your mama, she said, go out and pick your own switch, and there better not be nail leaf on it. I don't know what nail was. I did not know my mother was a part of NASA and was dealing with the aerodynamics and stuff like that, because she didn't want the leaves to slow down and them leaves would slow it down. So now mom said, I don't want nail leaf. What is nail? What's nail? Pastor David, what is nail? Not one? Okay, you know what? Not one. Thank you. But I'm telling you, so anyway, I stayed out the way. And I was listening to this person. There was a person I was very fond of, and this man did like this. He said, I will, and then that person did what's called a devil silhouette, which I will not tell you what it is, because some of y'all may not be delivered yet, want to get to your enemies, and I don't want to help you. So she did with her hand what's called a devil silhouette. It's the same thing that Whoopi Goldberg did in the movie The Color Purple, when she was in the back of that old car with the rumble seat, and she said, what done to me gonna be done to whatever. And you see what happened to her in the movie. Okay. He grabbed his heart and he fell over and died right in front of me in the sidewalk. Here's what she said. She said, I call F. The same thing that some of y'all use when you curse. It's not a word, it's an actual name of a spirit. It's the spirit. Y'all ain't right. Actually, 2 people right. You know, Brother Kelley. Would you repeat that again, Brother Kelley? Brother Kelley, would you slow down? You're going too fast. Well, to make the moment last. Brother Kelley. Okay, so Brother Kelley gonna go it again. Not a word. This is an actual name of a spirit that every time you say, I'm going to get ahead of myself. So, my daddy used to make me run numbers. I used to work with the crooked cops, work with the pimps. I knew a lot of stuff. I never had no childhood because I knew grown people stuff because they would be in the middle of it all the time, running. I got tired. My father would beat me in the head with shoes and belt buckles, and the crooked cops would make me run things for them. And that was as a child whose life was taken away as a little boy. So, I saw what that person on my family did, and I said, if I had that kind of power, I can stop everybody from using me. If she can cause him to have a heart attack and die, I can say that hold on a second. Works better to take the top off. I can have that same kind of power. So I said, I call F. I said all 4 letters. I call F to come and take over my life, give me the power like she had. Wow. And when I did that, the ground opened up. Let me show you something. The ground opened up in front of me. The whole ground opened up. And then came out what's called a Nemos cycle. I got books back there talking about all of this. It was a little tornado was spinning. It had eyes. It had a nose, had a mouth, and it was these little spirits was inside. It was inside of that tornado because I said I called F. Let me tell you something. Proverbs 5:5. And Proverbs 5:5 explains that there's a staircase under your feet down there that you don't even know is there until you do certain things in the demonic realm. Then that staircase becomes activated. Yeah, look at Proverbs 5:5, babe. Go Proverbs 5:5. I'm going to show you something. So where you have to watch what you say. Because everything you say, you're going to pay good or bad for it.
That's right.
Say, well, Brother Kelley. Brother Kelley, you mean to tell me, Brother Kelley?
Proverbs 5:5.
5:5, what did it say?
Her feet.
Hold on, son. Read that so they can see what you're saying.
Proverbs 5:5 says, her feet go down to death. Mm-hmm. Her steps take hold of hell.
Jesus.
When I was a witch, we used to do seances. Remember the seances? What happens when you're doing a seance? You come out of yourself. The Bible talks about peeping and muddle. You peep into the pit. You muddle, blah, 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 and then it's not speaking in tongues. So you go looking for a witch to help you. See what's called muddling. Muddle. Blah, 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 blah. And a lot of church folks, when they don't want to wait on God, they go to the two-headed people, they call them. They try to get them to tell them something instead of waiting on God. In Hoboken, New Jersey, I ain't talking about Iberia.
Yeah.
Old and new Iberia. Okay, so y'all say, well, that's not talking to us, Brother Kelley. Brother Kelley, we don't do that here, okay? That's up there. But when you go to a witch, if you go there looking for anything, they go down a flight of stairs on you, probably write it down your notes, Proverbs 5 and 5. We used to do that like regular. Go down there, and when you go down there, there's steps. There's a staircase down in hell that they tap into. And when they come to meetings like this, the thing is, the microphone's cutting in and out. The thing is, and watch this now. I want you to please get this. Please get this. This is going to encourage you. Please get this. I used to be a sorcerer. I know how this stuff works. They cannot operate the staircase in a place where the Holy Ghost is and people know who they are in Christ. That's praying and praising God. They cannot.
Amen.
They cannot.
Amen.
They cannot. They cannot operate that staircase. But when you're doing something you ain't have no business doing, they come right up the steps.
That's right. That's true.
Right up the steps. And I thank God that the Holy Ghost stopped them from coming up the steps after me a long time ago. See.
That's revelation.
Yeah, it's a staircase.
Yes, it is.
They copy everything. Everything that God has, they copy. There was someone who was sleeping, put a rock to his head on a pillow, and what was happening is a staircase or a ladder going up.
Right.
Theirs is the opposite. They want your stuff to go down.
That's right.
That's why I tell people.
Amen.
I tell them, I'm going to get back to the story, but I tell them, it's going to help somebody. Never go to a psychic. I used to be one. Why? Because when the minute you touch the doorknob is contaminated with little itty bitty tiny microscopic demons. Can I just go on and explain this a little bit?
Please.
When you touch, the Bible said, touch not, taste not what? Handle not. Why? Because in that, there's a whole factory of stuff that you can't see with your eye, and they take advantage of your ignorance because my people destroy for what? So now you've got a hold of this thing, and everything in there is coming. It's coming. It's coming up. It's coming up. Inside of you. That's number one. The second one is the hinges on the doors. Swings. The Bible talks about the hinges. Yeah. See, the reason why some people are having problems going back and forth, back and forth. We love relationship. You don't know if he loves you. You don't know if he hates you. Because they went to a psychic, and now that door is going back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. Now, they'd be mad at me if they know I was telling all this, but who cares? I get the, I get the nan. So, the next one, when you sit down at their table, the Bible says, blessed is the man that does what? Not sit where? At the seat of the scornful. Now you're sitting in a terrible place. Then Solomon says, blessed is the man that don't eat the dainties at their table because you put the knife to your throat.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's a whole lot more. I can't go on all of that, but there's a whole lot more. And I tell, the preacher called me from Colorado one time. He was almost crying. I said, what's up, man? Earthquake, man, earthquake. Man, what's the matter? Earthquake, man. Man, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I went to a psychic. Preacher. Big. I went to a psychic earthquake, man, and I asked her to bewitch the people in the community so that I could have a big church like T.D. Jakes. All of a sudden, I wanted to run out to the boat store where they have the big boat oars, you know what you pay, and give me a boat oar and say, come on to L.A. so I can whip you good with that.
Yeah.
He said, man, it backfired on me, man. What happened? He said, all of a sudden, my wife came down with a sickness. We don't know what it is. And I'm so sick right now, man. Ever since I went to that psychic, I can't seem to get this sickness off. And would you pray for me? I sure will, after I whip your behind first. I want to whip you. If I could whip you through this phone, I would.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he went to a psychic to help his church grow. He said his church grew so big, it was like sardines in a can. And he said as fast as it grew, the people left. And we get these calls back to back to back to back, all over the country, all over the world. We get them because people are not waiting on God. They want that microwave stuff.
Yes.
That's right.
Amen.
Instant.
Mm-hmm. What was I saying? Where was I at? I lost my.
Profanity.
The door that swings.
Thank you, thank you. So that door, the hinges swings. Okay? The table, the chair, the doorknob, the hinges, all of these things. So now, back to cursing. So Peter, and then the cock crew. Cuckoo, cuckoo. So I asked the question, how many of you all have cursed? And there's a problem with that. If you did not get rid of that spirit can hover around you. And that's what I bought this bag for. I want to show you all something. That's why I bought this army bag with me. Because this is my warfare bag.
Teach us, earthquake. Teach us.
Yeah, 26:69 of Matthew. So when you curse, you're leaving residue of a spirit on you, and if you don't get rid of it, come on. Yeah. What's happening if you don't get rid of it? It's gonna ride you. Bring that back. Let me show you something. I want it. You got to get rid of it. If not, you're going to be stuck with residue. Hold that for me. You're going to be stuck with residue. Residue. Do. You do for something bad. Yeah. So what happens is, wait. You know what? I didn't finish. Hold on a second. I want to tell you something before I get to that point. Thank you, son. So when I said I want F to come into my life, the ground opened up. Remember? And the thing was coming out of that Nemo cycle thing, which I got books back there. I'd like y'all to buy them.
Yes.
I'd like you to buy them to help you. Start spinning around. It went inside of me. It hit me. Oh, and it kept spinning. I ran in the house. I told my brothers and sisters, I said, something's in me. This ain't nothing wrong with you. Because I was smoking dope when I was 4 years old, and I was doing cocaine at 10 and weed at 6 years old, because they thought I was high. But I wasn't. I wasn't high. That thing was in. It was spinning. How many have ever cursed? Raise your hand again. All right, we're gonna deal with that, I guess, for a minute. So the thing was spinning inside of me, spinning. And I ran in the house. I was trying to throw it up like that. Trying to throw it up, it wouldn't come out. It kept spinning. That night, I went to lay down. I was sleeping real good. All of a sudden, the closet door broke open. Boom! And here stood this big old green thing with long teeth, long fingernails. And it said, my name is F. You conjured me. Welcome to witchcraft.
Oh my gosh.
Whoever cursed again? So every time you curse, you enter into a, what's that word? Fear. How do you spell that word? S-H-E-R-E. Realm or it's another word. Fear. Thank you. You enter into a, thank you, sir. Fear. Okay. Must be my Connecticut, New Yorker accent. Say that word again. Fear. Thank you. So you enter into that thing that y'all said. You're into that. Now you're in this realm with that. You and this thing is in the same realm. you're in the same realm. So, this thing kicked the door open. I'm laying down on there. I'm on the floor. I'm laying on the floor on a little pallet, trying to sleep. He kicks the door open, and he says, my name is F, all 4 letters. He said, welcome to Witchcraft. He said, your life will never be the same. So I was trying to hide. I was trying to get underneath there, trying to hide. He pulled the thing out. I almost had the thing covering my face. I was so scared. I said, what have I done? What have I done? He pulled the cover off from under me, whatever's covering me, and I tried to pull it back. He pulled it, and he stepped on my arm with his foot. His foot was like razor blades and needles. An 8-year-old arm, a child, and it covered all the way here. And I burst open with blood.
Oh my God.
I was so tormented. And he tormented me all night long, this close to my face, without a break. And then when the sun came up, he changed his form and went right through the glass. And for 11 years straight, he came back on the regular.
Oh my God.
So, I ask people all over the planet, everywhere we go, are you still cussing? Is that, I ask the question sometimes, are those just words, or is that a name every time you curse? Some people say, oh, it's just a word, don't mean nothing. And some people say, is that a spirit? And I tell them, yes. Yes. And if you haven't dealt with it, guess what? You got this thing still attached to you in some shape, form, or another. You say, well, that's not possible. I'm a Christian. Yeah, but if you're a cussing Christian, you're still going to have it. Hello? You're still going to have it. You're still going to have this.
Right.
And it's going to get you. And it's going to get you until you realize you got to stop cussing, Christian.
That's right.
Or Brother Earthquake, let me start explaining this. Get out of here with all that explaining. No, this is what the word says. You got to get this off of you. This put this on. Now watch this. This is the residue. This thing right here. Yeah, the green thing. Now, put that around your head there, sister. Like a piggyback. Like it's riding you like a piggyback. Now, walk around and let them see it up close. If you have not dealt with that, that's what you got on you. I can get no amens out there nowhere. It's just a puppet. It won't hurt you none. If it hurts you, then we're all going to run out of here. It's just a puppet. No, it's not going to hurt you. It's not alive. It's just, So if you haven't got the victory over your tongue, you are carrying this thing around with you everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you have this thing of residue stuck to you, because what it does, it will damage your relationships, your finances, your body. If you haven't got clear of this, I learned this the hard way when I was in sorcery. And a lot of people, I can see that on them. I just don't say nothing. I can see it on you. I don't say anything unless God tell me to. Then I tell you, you know what? You need to stop that cussing, because you don't know what's riding you. Wow. Something is riding you, and you're wondering why you can't seem to get free, because you are snared by the words that come out your mouth, and the names that the names and the words gonna get you, and you're gonna walk around some more, because I don't think some of them scared of it. So walk in there and make sure they see it real good. Now here she comes. She's wearing a flannel top. Those boots, those fancy boots, they're from Paris. Her demon is from the Shea Pizza Hell. So now, if you can take it off, because it's gonna get hot on you. Yeah, it gets hot fast. So turn them around and let them see what they're looking at. Take it close, son. Take it around and let them see. For those that's been cussing.
Oh, Jesus, how ugly.
See that? So again, ask a question. How many of you all still use profanity in the last few months or so or years? Come on. You see that? I'm asking you all to be honest and stand to your feet so we can pray for you and get the residue of this thing off of you.
Amen.
The residue of this off of you. Residue.
Yeah, I'm gonna get prayed for.
All need to get free.
Residue.
Even if you just say
Take
that.
me all it all.
Well,
If we did it before we got saved, we still gotta get prayer.
no, I'm talking about church folks that still cussing, have cussed in the last few years and ain't dealt with it. If you don't mind, somebody stand for mama. Don't stand, let mama, somebody stand for mama. You stand for mama? Okay, all right. So, I want the blessed oil. I want y'all to come down close, okay? I want to anoint y'all for this. Come down close. It's getting a little hot already. Ain't y'all hot? You could do. I'm my wife to come down and help me anoint the heads. Can we turn on the air just a little bit, please?
I'll put it on.
Oh, okay. See, here's the. I started to kill it. And then the problem with many of us would be further along in pretty much everything if we didn't curse. I'm talking to somebody out there.
Amen. Preach it.
You'd be so much further along. See, here's what the witches taught me when I was growing up. They said it's going to come a time that the saints of the Most High God that we're afraid of, the real church, is going to stop praying and start doing other things. Stop praying.
Oh, Lord.
And when they do, I was a little boy, and the witch was teaching me. She said, son, when they do that, it's a thing called decades. Anybody know what the decades are?
Yeah.
What are they?
Every 10 years? 20 years? What is
True and not true.
What is it? Decades.
Decades.
10 years.
Yes. But what are decades?
Several.
True, yeah. But what are decades?
We don't know.
Not trying to put you on the spot. I'm trying to get you all to see something. What are decades?
Times and seasons.
You're so sweet. Yes, but decades is a witchcraft term. That means the ground is going to crack open and spirits coming up.
Oh, I've seen that a lot in visions.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to hit you.
No, you good. Yes.
See, what's happening is when the church is not praying, the ground, the demonic realm is starting to crack.
Oh, my Lord.
And those things are starting to stick their hand. You haven't seen them all the way yet. They're starting to stick their hands up out of the crack. They call decades. So the witch was telling
I've
me,
seen that.
yes, ma'am, mama, that's true. The witch told me, she said, son, the decades are coming. And I said, what's a decade? She said, the decade means spirits that are coming. That had nothing to do with the 10, 5, 10, 20, whatever. No, decade, this word decade means that the ground that God's hand is, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, I will heal the what? The land, what God was talking about. As long as we are seeking Him and praying, those spirits that are stuck under the cracks can't come up. So you praying and when you pray, you're doing a great thing because you are smashing, you are keeping things dormant.
Yes. Does that include praying in the Spirit?
Yes, ma'am. You're keeping things dormant in your area, in other places around the country. You're praying doing more than you think.
Wow.
And the witches taught me. And she said, there's going to come a time where church folks are going to take prayer as unnecessary. And that's where we're going to come up.
Yes, sir. Yes. Kelley.
That's what she told me.
Yes, and I saw it. I saw the vision just about every time it like 20 times in the last 3 years. What he's saying. The ground's cracking open. It's black. All these demons, especially perversion, and jumps on young people at the beaches. Yes, and married couples, uncleanness in their marriage bed. Yeah.
And the witch told me that. Thank you, Mama. And the witch told me that. I'm a little boy. I don't understand what she's talking about. But as I got more involved with witchcraft, and I started seeing stuff happen, I started seeing it, and there's certain things that start happening. And but anyway, that's the whole nother story. But now we got to get to those that's cursing. That's cursing. You anointed your head. Here's the thing I love about God is that God will restore everything that's been blocked and stolen because of us. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you. Hey. Come on, let's raise our hands and let's go to God in prayer. Let me tell you something. You know the reason why a lot, huh? Okay, well, I'll do that. You know the reason why a lot of times stuff not happening? Because it was, what was his name? He had 300 men. Gideon, thank you. He had two names. It was Gideon and he had another name too. He was hiding around the corner, and he said, every time we plant something, they come and take it.
Yes, Lord.
That's the same thing that's happening with cussing. Every time you plant something, that hobgoblin there, it comes and takes it. You should be, most of us should be further along in life if we didn't have something stealing our stuff from us, our own mouth. So, repent right now. Take a few minutes. Y'all walk around this place. I'm going to tell you the reason why you're walking around this place. You're walking around this place repenting. That means you stopping the staircase from coming up here. Go and walk around. Go. Just for a few minutes and watch and see when you walk around.
For he's worthy to be praised and adored. Let's just lift up holy hands in one accord. Singing, blessed be the name. Blessed be the name. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
Oh my God.
Blessed be the name of the Lord. For he's worthy to be praised and adored.
Come on back now.
Let's just lift up holy hands in one accord, singing, blessed be the name, blessed be the name, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be the name of the Lord, for he's worthy to be praised and adored. Let's just lift up holy hands in one accord, singing, blessed be the name, blessed be the name, blessed be the name of the Lord.
Thank you. Let's praise God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now we gotta repent. Everybody, be honest. He's the Lord, Brother Kelley, you already repented. Do it again. It's not gonna hurt you. Just give respect to God. That's all. God, I thank you. I mean, I know, but now I know. You want to close the door to the devil? Let's close it. Come on, let's repent right now. Father, forgive us. Even though we didn't know, just closing the door just in case. In the name of Jesus, God, forgive us. We can grow now. We can grow. We got this hobgoblin off of us, God. In the name of Jesus, God, help us. Help us. Help us. Help us. Help us. Everybody, God. God. Bless us, God. Somebody's phone is
Thank you for your forgiveness.
Take a seat, please. Do I get like 5 more minutes? How much time I got?
Take your time. We got time.
Okay. to you all. As we travel the world, we've been to Africa, same problem. We've been to South America, same problem. New York, same problem. California, same problem. The saints of the Most High God, cussing, cursing, and I tell them, why are you cursing? Well, I'm just getting this off of my mind. I'm getting this off of my head. And I tell them, I say, I want to say something. What's up, earthquake? No, you're not. You're adding stuff on top of your head. You're bringing stuff into you. Lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. My people destroyed for what? Lack of knowledge. We shouldn't get so angry that we allow this hobgoblin thing. You saw it, right? And this is not the one that I saw. This is one that gets rides on you. That one that I saw stepped on me. This one follows you, rides you. The Bible says, many are the what? Afflictions. But God does what? So how do you deal with it until the deliverance comes? That's what the enemy wants. He wants to drive you. Thank you, sir. Can y'all hear me okay? Yeah. All right. So let's look at another one, can we? Yes, sir. Amen. Our ministry is not like a lot of ministries. I didn't come from where a lot of people came from. Thank you. You can leave it down. That's sort of heavy. Yeah. I don't want you to hurt you. I'll tell you which one to get out next. Let's see which one is next. Yeah, let's see. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's go to Joshua 16:5. You know what really bothers me? You know what really bothers me to see so many people committing suicide. Why it bothers me? We had a pastor in Riverside commit suicide last week. 30 years old. Oh, Shelley, that hurts. That hurts me so bad. Then in Hollywood, we minister in Hollywood from time to time. We ministered last Sunday night in Hollywood. And to see the actors and the actresses just hanging themselves.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they're hanging them. They don't even report all of them. We get it locally, but y'all don't get it, big like we do.
And the kids, so many kids.
Yeah, it's sad. It hurts. But there's a reason behind this. There's a reason. Jeez, I'm getting sort of sweaty here. There's a reason, so we're going to talk about it. Y'all got Joshua 16:5?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all got it, but I don't. Let me catch up with you. A second here. Want to thank God for Michael and Shelley.
Yes.
And they blessed me.
Yes.
Cameras and ministry. Someone went in my car and stole my Bible. Left the money in there. Left my jewelry. And they took my Bible with all my notes in it for my new book. Yeah, took it. So thank God. When we were in Baltimore about 2 months ago, God blessed us with this one here. Thank God for Mike and his lovely wife, Shelley. So got me a new one. So I just hope they get something out of it. Yeah. Left the money, left the jewelry in the car, took my Bible. I hope they do. Yeah, took because I was going to write another part to the dangers of profanity. Stuff in those notes that the church needs, and I was going to be bringing out to the forefront, and they took my Bible. But I'm going to get to say nah. How God works. Let's go to Joshua 16:5. Who got that?
And the border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was thus. Even the border of their inheritance on the east side was Adaroth Adar unto Beth-horon the upper.
Now, Adaroth Adar. Anybody familiar with Adaroth Adar?
No.
Raise your hand if you're familiar with it. A lot of you are. You have seen it before. You ever seen the ambulance at that snake on the pole?
Oh, yeah.
That's Adderall for dark. Right. That's Adderall for dark.
Yes.
That's what that is.
Huh.
Yeah. And then it's a whole long story. I need to teach. I could teach a whole week on Adderall for dark. We jumping around a little bit, if that's okay, from different subjects. And maybe someday I can come back, son,
Absolutely.
and teach.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Yeah, look up. Yeah. Yeah. And it's a lot to that. But I want to talk about the bad part of it right now so people will see what it is. And I bought another prop here. So what happens is that the Bible talks about the helmet of salvation. Let me show you something. Let me show you the reason. Write this in your notes. There's something here I'm trying to get here. Lift it up. This may be lifted up. 1 second. Just keeps cutting in and out. Son.
Come and help me, John.
I got it pretty clear though.
Huh?
I hear you pretty clear though.
You can hear me?
Yeah, pretty clear.
I hear it, please. Anyway, they broke, but thank you, son. Just hold it there for a second. Trying to put it back together. Oh, there it is. They're traveling, broke it, yes. But sometimes they go through my suitcases and around the world, they go through it. And, what is this, man? What's that? I said, it's a prop for Christians and stuff like that, and nothing else. So they saw that, okay, go ahead. So you remember when Jesus, remember when he wore the thorns? He wore the thorns. You know the reason why he wore the thorns? Anybody? You know the reason why he wore the thorns?
No, sir.
Sure you know why he wore the thorns?
Well, I know for the mental anguish.
For protection of your head.
Yeah. The what?
Somebody get that scripture for me.
Make it loud. What did you say, baby?
Oh, you get that scripture in Matthew. Then we're going to go back to Adderall. You got to see this. Hallelujah. Get that scripture where the soldiers put the crown on his head.
Oh, God.
Put the crown on his head. You got to see this. You got to see this. And when you see this, you're going to see this. There's a reason why Jesus wore that crown. Who's got that scripture? Baby, you got that? Who's got it? You got it, sis? Who's got it? When Jesus. We're going to another scripture
Which
where
one is it?
it's in the Gospels here where the soldiers sat Jesus down just before
Okay.
they crucified him.
We'll hang on to that other scripture.
Yeah, we're going to go back to Joshua 16:5, but I want to show you this because this is what's going to go into the other part. I want to put this one first.
Okay.
Reason why he wore. Anybody got that? When they sat him down and hit him with the reed and bowed the knee to him and placed the crown of thorns. Matthew 20. Read that, please, Shelley. 27, 29.
And when they had platted a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed at his right hand, and they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews."
One more time, Shelley. This crown where?
They platted the crown.
What's the scripture? What's the scripture?
Oh, Matthew 27:29.
Y'all got that? Matthew 27:29. He paid a serious price for our mind to be whole.
Oh, my God.
That's why he wore the crown of thorns. When we were in Israel 2 weeks ago, babe, was it 2 weeks? Yeah. We were in Israel 2 weeks ago. We were walking around, and I actually saw a thorn bush that the crown looked just like this. Oh my God, there is the actual things they planted and put on Jesus' head. I took a picture of it.
Yeah, Lord. Oh, God. Help us, Lord.
Oh my God.
Have mercy.
Jesus paid the price. One more time, please, Shelley.
And when they had platted a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand, and they bowed the knee before him, mocked him, saying, "Hail, the King of the Jews." And they spit upon him, took the reed, and smote him on the head.
See that? Not only did he wear this on his head, but they added insult to injury as they was doing everything else to him. They hit him, and anytime you hit something with a spike already, where is it going? It's going down in your skin.
Jesus.
He did that to cover our minds, to cover the depression spirit, to cover the hatred, to cover the misery, to cover the hopelessness. Am I talking to somebody? There's somebody here right now that feels bad in your mind, if you're having problems of this and that. You need to stand up right now before we go on. God said, I need to stop right now and pray against that spirit that's attached itself to your head. Please stand right now in the name of Jesus. Come on, stand. Stand.
Oh, Jesus, Jesus.
Stand for your family too. Stand for your loved ones. That don't know, they don't know that the price has already been paid. When them soldiers set him down and put it on his head and then banged him in the head to force it down even more. That spirit of discouragement, he wore it against it already. Disgust, he already wore it. Glory. Yes. Oh, glory to God. Hallelujah. Oh, glory. Somebody stand for your family. That spirit of suicide is in the land. It's in the land. Heavenly Father, right now, we rebuke that spirit of suicide. We rebuke it right now. Jesus, you paid the price. You had this forced into your head. So we don't have misery. We don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about money. We don't have to worry about family. We don't have to worry about what am I doing for my next meal. We don't have to worry about the mortgage and the rent. We don't have to worry about these things and keeping us up all night long. Hallelujah. You paid it. You paid it.
Thank you, Jesus.
You paid it. Come on, let's praise him for paying it. He paid it. He paid it.